everyone, Chris Clapp here, and thank you for joining me. I am at the McColl Center for Art and Innovation, and we are going to have a brief session on drawing oneself as a superhero. That is what this mini art lab focus will be about. I thought this would be kind of a fun thing for you to explore because you're home and we're all figuring out ways to get by and give ourselves little projects to work on. Many of you that may know my work know that I'm a realist painter. I had a residency here at the McColl Center in the summer of 2019. I primarily work from still life objects, and they're very realistic. But that's not how I've always worked. Whenever I was much younger, I actually was very into comic books and cartoons and superheroes, and I had a lot of fun exploring that medium, and I learned a lot about it actually, about perspective, dynamic composition, and storytelling, and that's something that has influenced my work today. However, I still love a good comic book and a good fun drawing, and since we're trying to come up with things to kind of do and just engage our creative side, I think this is something that might be kind of fun. In our lives today, there are superheroes that are around us in every form, whether it's a teacher or someone that's helping with public transportation or a friend that just makes you feel better. So I thought it would be fun to try to identify character traits that might make me be a superhero. So that's something that you should also think about. What makes you have a superhero power? What is something that you do that helps out others or makes others feel better? Perhaps you're a nurse, perhaps you're a teacher, perhaps you help people get to work, or perhaps you just can make a really awesome set of cupcakes. You know, that's also a very special power, which I wish I could achieve. I'm an artist, so I started to draw myself as a superhero that was also a protective individual. I drew myself, and then we had a camp at one point, a little workshop session with other kids based on this theme. This is where this sort of project initially had come from. But the kids did such a wonderful job giving me ideas that I never even thought about. And that's one thing I love about kids is they're so creative and their minds are someplace that ours as adults don't really go to anymore. So those of you that are adults in this class, or if you're a kid, great. If you have kids that are around you, like you have little brothers, little sisters, or if you're a parent, I think this could be kind of a fun thing that you could do with someone else and kind of say, well, what should this superhero have? And draw oneself with these things, okay? I'm gonna switch cameras so you can see some of the work that I did and understand what I'm trying to discuss with you. Okay, so whenever I originally had the idea of doing this workshop with kids and basing your superhero character on yourself and some of the special powers you had, this was the drawing that I had created. And it's myself as a superhero power as an artist. That's kind of my special power, is I can create things with paint. I can make people feel better by the objects that I've painted that they can relate to. A sense of nostalgia, memory of someone, for example, if it's an object that I've painted that they relate to because it reminds them of a family member or a beautiful memory that they would like to revisit. So that becomes kind of my special power. But I thought I'd have fun with it and use my palette as my shield and my paintbrush as my weapon to eradicate any bad feelings, any feelings of sadness. Every good superhero should have a cape and an emblem on his or her shirt. So that's why I have the C. Well, whenever I did drawing camp with the children, we worked together to create a drawing based on other special powers and what might represent those special powers. And this is the drawing that we had come up with. Our superhero self-portrait was no longer me as a human, but it was me as a lizard. And we were really good at cleaning up things, so our weapon became a broom, and we were good at healing others. So that's why our shield now has this sort of red cross emblem. Our name was Duke, and we had a very, very special sidekick named Swinger. And I personally thought this was far beyond the one that I had done individually. So anyway, let's get started and let's make one that we need. Let's go ahead and make a new one, okay? Now, the drawing that you can do can be created with anything that you currently have in your home. I think it's great to keep it simple. These are things that you will probably have on site and on hand very easily. So paper, it could be copy paper, it could be a sketchbook paper. You'll want pencils, and maybe you want to do something that has some color. Maybe you have colored pencils, maybe you have some markers handy, but this isn't anything fancy. So I've got in front of me on my table, I have my sketchbook. I have some different colors assembled here, and that's all you're going to need. Beyond that, something I would also consider is things that make you special, that make you unique, that maybe you can identify in some way in a drawing. So I'm just going to write down self-portrait ideas. Okay, well, I'm just going to do myself because I can do that easily. And but this is a good place for you to begin. You know, for me, I'm an artist. I'm also someone that is very protective of my friends and family. I'm someone that is very caring, and those kind of go hand in hand. And I'm also someone who is a cat lover. Okay, so these are things that I'm going to consider in doing my self-portrait. And I want it to be fun and kind of silly, so that's where I'm going to start. So what you should consider is what are some traits like these that make you who you are and make you unique and can be kind of fun to draw. And maybe if you have a friend helping you out, they can help you with some of these ideas too. Okay, so I'm going to start my drawing. I've got a fresh sheet of paper. I've got a couple pencils handy and an eraser. This is just a basic pencil that you may have in your home, a number 2 pencil. And then I have a kneaded eraser that I'm using, but any eraser will do. You know, this guy right here would do just fine as well. I'm just going to use this to kind of give myself like an interesting sort of composition, okay? So I'm going to use shapes at first to identify my myself and my what I may be doing. I kind of like the idea before where I had a palette as a shield. I might do something like that once again. I'm just sort of sketching lightly, and whenever I'm drawing, that's what I tend to like to do because I can easily go back in and correct things with the eraser like I'm doing now. I tend to make a lot of errors at times, and that's part of the process of finding your drawing. You know, I like to just kind of use these basic shapes to make marks and discover where I'm going with it. I'm thinking that this is starting to kind of take shape as like maybe I'm going to be almost flying or taking off or something like that, okay? That's kind of cool, all right? So I'm just giving myself some basic information. Now yours can be whatever you want. You can make yours kind of silly, more cartoony. I'm just trying to make myself look kind of more superhero-y. My head is gonna be kind of like this, I think, with where my eyes are gonna be maybe. I'm just using these sort of cross marks to find like the direction of my head right now. Now I'm drawing myself kind of as a human at the moment, but you know, remember that other drawing I showed you where I had some of my friends help me come up with myself as a lizard, which was kind of cool. And that's something that you can do too. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get in the shape of this palette here as a shield. I'm just gonna put a couple colors on it. And I'm working lightly enough that I can erase any of this at any time. And as you can tell, it's kind of scribbly, but this is how I work. I'm finding the form of everything. And you remember I said that I was a cat lover, so I might have to have cat ears in that case. And I like the idea of this paintbrush that I had before, so I'm going to give myself a paintbrush again. I'm making it kind of bend because it's more dynamic to me that way instead of it being just straight. Okay. Okay, all right, this is starting to feel better to me. But I'm missing a crucial element, which is the cape that I want to have. I can't wear a cape day to day, so why not have a cape now, huh? Because it's more fun that way. But I guess I could have a cape now. I mean, I'm home during the day more, then no one's going to know, right? Okay, this is starting to feel really good, I think. So I want to go ahead and darken it. And that's where, like, if you have markers, crayons, or color pencil, you can use them to refine your edges. So I'm going to go in. This one edge was getting a little too broad for me, so I'm going to just go ahead and kind of refine that edge. Yeah, I like that. And then the cape's gonna come over here. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some colors from my palette too, those little spots. So I organize my palette in sort of a spectrum of color. So I'm gonna do that here as well. These thin markers at hand, so they might pop up here in my drawing too. It's my shoe, kind of got that leg bent back. to just kind of give it a little fun. And I'm going to correct this leg here. Maybe I'm running. I've got that foot down there. Let me find my eraser and kind of clean up this one edge. It was getting a little wide, but that's okay. I like to just find the form and make that happen. So you can kind of see where I'm going with my character kind of running to the rescue because I'm protective, remember? My palette is my shield to help protect me. Help protect my friends, I mean. And I've got glasses. In real life, so I'm going to draw my glasses, but I might make them kind of fun, give them like little cat points. You know, why not? There it is, my drawing. And then here are my cat ears. Because remember, I'm a cat lover, so that was part of where that was coming from. And I'm just like laying in color quickly. Like this can just be fun. This isn't anything detailed. I'm just having a good time with it. But I could spend all sorts of time on this. And let me give myself a blue shirt. And go up here with my paintbrush and give it a little color. Sometimes I have to like stop and think how something will actually look and how it would be held. And then I think red might be the cool color of my outfit down here. So I want to use that. Now I've got this cape that I got to color too, and it could be anything. I think that green seems pretty cool. I've got this great green color pencil that I think will definitely give me what I want there. Okay, I'm just gonna go in and just kind of like clean up my edges a little bit and give them a little outline, because I think it might help refine my edges and help it pop a little bit. Face here a little bit, and some of these other stray marks while I'm at it. Cool. I think there we have it. This was just kind of a fun, like self-portrait superhero based on certain character traits and things that I feel help identify me or that I identify in myself. Okay, everyone, that was kind of a fun little drawing that we just did based on the idea of giving ourselves these identifying traits that represent us as a superhero. This is something that I enjoy to do every now and then whenever I'm just kind of doodling, and this was kind of a fun one. I think that we could definitely improve upon it, but this was a good example. And I look forward to seeing where you're gonna go with this. Just keep in mind, this is something that could be fun to do with a friend or even a family member, someone that you can kind of bounce ideas off of, and have someone like suggest something that you should include as an element of yourself and your identity. Again, my name is Chris Clapp. I'm here at the McColl Center for Art Innovation, and we look forward to seeing you in another workshop in the future. Thank you.